Daf Yud. Ein person, says the Mishnah, ein person vesmi machas tkiyos b'mikdash. Can't have less than 21 tkiyos every day. The tkiyos are really mentioned in Parak HaChalga, the last parak of Sukkah. The tkiyos are every single carbon. You would bring 9 tkiyos. The carbon, not every carbon, the carbon tamid, you would bring 9 tkiyos, so that's 18, and then the 3 are every day when they open up the Azara. I think that's what it is. When they open up the Azara, they have another 3. So every day, minimum of 21 tkiyos. They used to blow with the chatzaitzmas.
Not when they close, just open.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Shofar is only on Rosh Hashanah. The Torah says that in the Parsha of Chatzotzos, I think the last week's Parsha, not the last week's Parsha, it says, "Uv'yayim simchasem u'adechem u'v'shech hashechem u'skatem b'chatzotzoros ala lo yisechem v'al zepei shalom echem." So we learn from there that you do it another time, but you do it on the Musaf. Also, every day there's the Musaf. There's also another 9, right? So that's why the Mishnah says, "V'lei moisifin ala arbo u'shmoina." You can't have more than 48 blasts of the trumpet per day, but what are the 48? The 48 also, it's like the Talmud of Shachris ben Arbaim and the Musaf, that's 9 times 6 is 27. Plus the 3 that we said is 30, right? Then 3, like when you open up the Azar. Then there's, if it's Erev Shabbos, so before Shabbos, there would be to kiss 6 times. 36. So it's 36. And then what else is there?
Must be a few more korbanos.
Oh, I think if it's a Shana Ra, it's a Shana Ra, that's where it gets into Sukkah. If it's a Shana Ra, and it's on Sukkos, when they used to do the Shanas, when they used to circle the Mizbech, when they used to put the Aravas near the Mizbech, also would be more. So it would get to Kitzur, would get to about 48, not more than 48. Okay, so that's the tkiyos. Ein poichsin mishnei nevalim. You can't have less than 2 nevalim. A nevel is either, Rabbi Gershom explains it as a wind instrument. It's a circular thing that you take a piece of the intestine of a goat, which is very thin and you can stretch it. I guess they used to put it around like a, around a round thing, and then bang it. It's like a type of drum. And I think the Rambam says it's some type of wind instrument, but either way, you can't have less than 2. It's a certain musical instrument that the Levim used to say when they used to say Shira. It was also during the Korbanos.
Violin, lute, bagpipe. Man, this is like.
What, the different opinions?
Yeah.
What's a lute? I'm not sure.
A lute is like a
type of flute. Okay, we're going to see the next the Mishnah is going to be talking about flutes. The Rambam. Navel, Rashi says the navel is the klikid musnoy. It's like a bag. Yeshlo yiterin u'menagnin. It's like a bag with holes or something. Things got holes coming out of it. Bagpipe. That's a lute.
It's like a guitar with a bent.
That in Arabic, that's called an oud. An oud.
The kings and queens supplying music.
No. The Arabs, the Syrians who come from the Arab countries, they don't have a regular guitar. They use an oud. It's called. It makes the older. It makes like that type of the Sephardi, the Arabic music. Yeah. So. Okay. Either way, the navel, you can't have less than 2 navels while you were doing Shira. While doing Shira, they had a navel, they had cymbals. The Mishnah is going to talk which instruments they had. They had a whole symphony of instruments when they did Shira. So one of the instruments is a navel. You can't have less than 2. Not more than Shisha. Rashi says we don't know why. Now, what's the idea of more than Shisha? Is it just a musical idea? That more than 6 is too much. It doesn't sound good. Whatever, Rashi says late sparish time. Why not more than 6? Okay. Ain't poichsin mishnei chalilin. You can't have less than 2 flutes. Limits even on shnei masar. You can't have more than 12. Shnei masar, not more than 12. Okay. Shnei masar yom b'shana. There are 12 days of the year that a Kolel was makel lifnei mizbeach. The Kolel would be playing in front of the mizbeach. Rashi says it's called makkah because you tap the holes of the flute, right, in order to make sound go in and out. So that's why it's called makkah. But only on 12, the Kolel, the flute, was not part of the regular shira of every day. It was only on certain days where they brought in the flutes. So only 12 days. What are the 12 days? Mshchitas HaPesach Rishon and Mshchitas Pesach Sheni. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, Yom Tov Shel Atzeres. Shmoyna Simei HaChag. 5 days of the Chag, the 8 days of Sukkot. The Lo Hayomaka Be'ivuv Shel Nechoshos. You would not do an evuv is a flute. Really, it's the same thing. The Gemara explains why it's called a cholil, but really, avuv and cholil are the same thing. The flute would not be made out of copper.
That's a saxophone.
Which an avuv?
What do you think? Copper flute.
Oh, copper flute is a saxophone. I thought a saxophone is much more complicated than a flute. It has like different things on the side. I don't know. I mean, the material, what the flute is made out of, it changes the. I guess it definitely changes the sound. It sounds like the Mishnah changes the sound. It says you can't use a copper flute. Made out of a reed, made out of wood. I guess because that's much sweeter sound. Mechalik means, Rashi explains, Mechalik means that when they used to end the music, the finale would be a solo instrument, and there would be Mechalik with only one flute. The shira would end. Good morning.
The shira.
Because they wouldn't. Mechalik means to end off. When they would end off the symphony. So they would end off with only one flute. Because it's nice to end in that way. It ends nicely when you have just one flute. Okay, now who used to play the flutes? It says the Avdei Kohanim. BeiRav Meir. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Mishpachas Beis Pagim and Beis Tifra Me'amom. No, it wasn't the sleeves of Kohanim. It was the Mishpachas Beis Pagim and Tifra from Amum. And they weren't Avadim at all. They were Hayumasim the Kahuna. They were very, very strong. They weren't Kohanim. They were Yisraelim. But they were so miyuchos that the Kohanim even married them. Kohanim had a higher status. They wouldn't take stam people, right? But these families, the ones that used to play the instruments, they were Mesim the Kahuna. So don't tell me they're Avadim. They're not Avadim. Chanina ben Tignas are Levim. He holds that no, they have to be Levim. It's the Levim who do the instruments. Okay. There's obviously the Levim are the ones who sing. I guess the Shaila is are the Levim ones who also play the instruments.
So that's what we thought. Everybody assumes today, right? Don't we all think it's Levim?
Well, the Levim have to be the ones who sing. That probably is unanimous. Everyone agrees that they're the ones who are singing. The question is the instruments, I guess. The Gemara is going to discuss. Okay.
The dispute is only for the flutes.
Only for the Kolel has its own status, I guess.
The other instruments, the harp, the navel, the cymbals, were all played by Levim.
They were for sure by Levim. Everyone's master to Levim. Just a question of Kolel. Okay. Fine. Weiter. Says the Gemara. Masnisin deloik Rabbi Yehuda. The Mishnah is not like Rabbi Yehuda. So we're back to the Tkiyas. We said that every single day the Tkiyas, the Chatzotros in the Beis HaMikdash is not less than 21 and not more than 48. So Masnisin deloik Rabbi Yehuda. It's not like Rabbi Yehuda. Why? The Tanya. If you can't do less than 7 per day, you can't do more than 16. Now what's going on? What are they arguing? Why does he say 7 and 16? He holds that there's only one tkiya. We always do it. We have a trua in the middle and tkiya before and tkiya after. right? So Rabbi Yehuda holds that's not 3 different koilos, it's 1 koil. And you don't even stop in between. The Gemara is going to explain, but he holds you just go straight. So according to him, it's 1 sound. So therefore, when the Mishnah says 21, he divides it by 3. He says it's not tkiya, true tkiya, so it's only 7. And then when the Mishnah says 48, he also divides it by 3, which is 16. Right? So to him, they're really sort of doing the same amount of noises. The question is, are you mafsik or not? So according to Chachamim, yeah, it's there's 3 koilos in every set. And according to Yehuda, no, it's only 1 koil. So b'maikam, if you read the Sarvat Tkiya Trua Tkiya Chadahi, it's really 1 koil. Rabbanan Sarvat Tkiya L'chud Trua L'chud Tkiya L'chud. So it's all 1. Therefore, they count it as 48 and 16, right, and 21, right? So, and there's actually enough communal halacha as to whether you're allowed to stop. You have to stop in between or not. Right? Rabbi Yehuda holds you're not supposed to stop, and Chacham holds you have to stop. Right.
Today, is different than
Right. No, but that's in the Tashrat. That's in Tashrat. Like that's in the Shavarim Teruah. Some stop with an Neshima in between the Shavarim Teruah, and some not. But that's over here. He's discussing in between the Tkiya and the Teruah. That no one does. Everyone stops by us.
Right.
Whatever. Today, La Halacha, we pass like the Chachamim. Okay, so it says in my time of Rabbi Yehuda, see uskatem trua. It says you have to uskatem trua, which means see trua yisku, which means you see tkiya and trua are interchangeable. The pasuk is saying uskatem trua. You see the word tkiya means just to blow, right? You should blow a trua. You see trua yisku, right? So it sounds like it's all 1 koil. It's not 2 separate koilos. You should say uskatem tkiya, right? It should say va'reyoisem trua. Why does it say skatem trua tisku? It sounds like it's the same thing. Shmami no tkiya trua tkiya chadi. Rabbanon, the Gemara says no. Rabbanon say that's not a raya. That's going to teach you that you need a pshuta, meaning the tkiya, without any breaks, right? Just the straight sound of tkiya. You need that before and after the trua. That's why you need those psukim to tell you uskatem trua, first the tkiya, then the trua, and then trua yisku, first the trua, then the tkiya, which means that you have really a tkiya, trua, tkiya. So, that's what Rabbanan are saying. You need a pshuta l'faneh, pshuta l'achaveh. Rabbanan's my time. Where do they know their shita from? It's more tiksiv uvakilas hakahol tiske uveloy surreal. The pasuk says when you gather the congregation. Tiske uveloy surreal. So you see, tkiya is not trua. You see, it's specifically not trua. Says the Gemara of Yisak tkiya trua tkiya chadahi. If according to Rabbi Yehuda, tkiya and trua and tkiya is 1 koil. So Amar Rachmana Avi Palga the mitzvah. So how could the Torah be telling you to do half a mitzvah? According to Rabbi Yehuda, always do every call starts with a tkiya. And then blends straight into a trua and then straight back into a tkiya, right? Now the Torah is saying, do a tkiya, not a trua. And that means what? You're telling me to do something so weird, right? It's half a mitzvah. According to Chachamim that hold that tkiya is its own call, trua is its own call, tkiya is its own. The Torah is saying, do that call. So that's already considered a call b'fnei atzma. According to Yehuda over here, there's no such thing as a tkiya b'fnei atzma. It's all 1 big call always. So now the Torah is telling me all of a sudden, just do a tkiya. What is that? That's half a mitzvah. So Yehuda answers, no, that's not a problem. See, one of Balmum, when the pasuk is over there is talking about gathering the kahal, it's not really a mitzvah. It's not like Rosh Hashanah or the Chatzaitis and the Beis Hamikdash. It's just a simon of Alma to get everybody to come together. It's just the siren to get the people together when they used to travel. So it's a big deal. You're right. It doesn't really have to be a full mitzvah. It's call it palga the mitzvah, call it what you want. It doesn't make a difference. It's just a simon of Alma. Okay, Kiman Azla says Gemara. According to which Tana does the following statement go? Damar of Kana, Ein ben tkiya l'trua v'lo klum. You can't stop in between tkiya and trua. So the Gemara, that's Kiman Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda holds it's 1 long sound, and therefore you can't stop. Shita says, well, obviously it's Rabbi Yehuda. Chacham holds it's 3 separate sounds. So the Gemara, how did tema afilu k'Rabbanan asya? It even means like the Rabbanan. Ulafukim et Rabbi Yochanan. And when he's saying you can't stop, it doesn't mean you can't stop at all. It means you can't stop for a long time. Like Rabbi Yochanan says, the Omar Shama Teishet Kiyas B'Teishet Shas B'Yom Yotza. Rabbi Yochanan holds on Rosh Hashanah, if you have to hear Midorais, you have to hear 9 Kiyas, right? 9 koilos. So if you heard one in every different hour of the day, you heard them divided you didn't hear them all together. One at 9 o'clock, one at 10 o'clock, one at 11 o'clock, throughout 9 separate hours during the day, you're Yaitza. So I might think that really Rav Kana's doesn't mean like Rabbi Yehuda, you can't stop at all. It means don't separate it like Rabbi Yochanan and do it in separate hours every day. Right? So Kamash Malading where it says Kamash Malading we're telling you that this is he's goofa trying to say not like Rabbi Yehuda. He's goofa trying to say not like the Rabbanan, like Rabbi Yehuda rules you can't stop at all. The Gemara says maybe Taka he's saying like we just said he means you can't stop for a long time like Rabbi Yochanan really he calls like the Rabbanan says Gemara no you can't my v'lei klum. Why does it say v'lei klum? We should say you shouldn't be mafsek a little bit. V'lei klum is mashma you can't stop at all. Must be that Rabbi Yehuda holds Taka as one part. Okay. Shnei Masar Yom B'Shana Makeh B'Cholil. For 12 days during the year, they used to use the flute. Ma'ishna Hani says Gemara. Why these 12 days specifically? Since the Yachid finishes Halal on these days, the Yachid is chayav to say Halal. So they used to say Halal on when they used to bring the Korban Pesach, on Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni. The same thing is true by the Chag and first day of Pesach and first day Shavuos, and the 8 days of Pesach. So therefore, since the Yachid is going to Halal, that's why it's so chashuv. It's because of Halal that they brought out the flutes, and Halal was a chiv on that day. That's why they brought out the flutes. So, so you have 18 days. That the Yachid does Halal. Yachid is chayiv to finish Halal. Meaning on Rosh Chodesh and other days when we do Chatzei Halal, it's only chiv and tzibur. Yachid really is not a chiv; it's just a minhag. But over here, these 18 days are even a Yachid is chayiv to become halal. Shmoyne Me'achag, 8 days of Chag. Shmoyne Me'Chanukah. Now Chanukah is not mentioned in the Mishnah because there's no carbon on Chanukah, so there's no extra carbon on Chanukah. Yom Tov Arishon Shel Pesach v'Yom Tov Shel Atzeres, the first day of Pesach Shel Atzeres. V'Goylo Esrim Be'achad, and in Chutz La'aretz you would do it for 21 days because you have Tishri Me'achag, you have 9 days of Sukkot. Shmoyne Me'Chanukah, U'Shnei Yom Tov Shel Pesach, U'Shnei Yom Tov Shel Atzeres. You have 2 days of Atzeres. Right, because you always have another day in Chutz La'aretz. Says the Gemara, Ma'ishna b'Chag. Why on Sukkot? Now, reading Kol Yom do we say Halal every single day? Halal Shalom, right? Ma'ishna b'Pesach D'lo Yaminon Kol Yom. Why do we not say? Oh, so the answer. This is more the Chag. Yom the Chag, the days of Chag. The Chag Chalukim v'Korban Nesein. Every single day has a different carbon. Therefore, it's like a Yom Tov B'nei Atzmai, and therefore has its own Halal. The Pesach and Chalukim v'Korban Nesein, so you only say on the first 2 days, or the first day in Eretz Yisrael. You say Halal Shabbat. Only on the first day. So asks the Gemara, how about Shabbos? Shabbos, the Chalukim v'Korban Nesein. Shabbos has different korbanos. It has a musaf, right? So now maybe we should say Halal every single Shabbos. Why don't we say Halal every single Shabbos? Says the Gemara, Lema, we should say Halal. The Gemara says no, it's not called Moyed. In order to say Halal, you need first of all to be called a Moyed, and you need Chalukim v'Korban Nesein. Says the Gemara, Rosh Chodesh Nikri Moyed. We should say Halal Sholem. It should be a chiv to say Halal Sholem on Rosh Chodesh because it's called a Moyed. Says the Gemara, yeah, but there's no Isra Asiyas Malacha. There's no Kedusha that you're not allowed to do Asiyas Malacha. So therefore, now we're saying another thing. You need Moyed, you need Isra Asiyas Malacha, and you need Chalukim v'Korban Nesein. Diksiv, Ashir Yelochem Kolel. Hiskadesh Chag. Ashir Yelochem Kolel Hiskadesh Chag. So you see that that Shir is associated with
Kolel, like
Hiskadesh. Kolel, like Nek. So you see that Shir, but you see you have to have Hiskadesh Chag. You have to have some Kedusha Chag, which means Isra Asiyas Melacha in order to have Shir. So Laila Mekudesh L'Chag Ton Shira. If a Laila that has a Kedusha, then it's Ton Shira. Shein Mekudesh L'Chag, it means not also Melacha, ain't Ton Shira. Okay? Rosh Hashanah says, more I, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, the Ikru Moyed, they're called Moyed. The Ikdush Basiyas Melacha, and they're not allowed to do Asiyas Melacha. So Lema, we should say Halal. And why don't we say Halal Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur? They have their own Korban and their own Moyed, their own Asiyas Melacha. Amru Malachi Asher Sefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. the angels told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why aren't Yisrael saying Shira? The king is sitting on the chair of judgment. Meaning it's too solemn to be so happy or so praiseworthy. It's a very serious time, and therefore the Sefer Chaim, Sefer Mishra are open, they can't say Shira. The Chanukah says the Gemara, Chanukah Deloy does not have separate korbanos. Why do you say Mahal Shalom? The what?
And that is Malacha.
No, that's Malacha. They don't, right? So why Chanukah? Why does Chanukah get Hal? Says the Gemara. Chanukah Deloy Hochi V'Loy Hochi doesn't have Maya, doesn't have korbanos, doesn't have Asis Malacha. Says the Gemara. The Ka'amar, we do say Halal. Why? Says the Gemara Mishum Nisa. That's special because that was the miracle. Says the Gemara Purim Dik and Nisa Lema. So in Purim we should also say. Says the Gemara Amar Bitzak Levisha Ein Amrim Shira Al Neis Shel Chutzlaretz. You don't say Shira on a Neis that happened in Chutzlaretz. It's only Eretz Yisrael. Because then it's more associated with Klal Yisrael. Whatever. I guess it's more chashuv because it shows the Hashgacha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu more in Eretz Yisrael. If it's Chutzlaretz, it's not that chashuv. We're not going to say. So Purim happened in Chutzlaretz. Masked Vam Nachman Bar Yitzchak Bar Yitzias Mitzrayim. What do you mean? How can you say that? Yitzias Mitzrayim, the nation of Chutzlaretz. I mean in Halal, on Pesach you say Halal, right? On the Haggadah you say Halal. So why? So you see, Chutzlaretz is fine. It says V'amin and Halal. Says Gemara Keditani actually Nichnasu Yisrael La'aretz until Klal Yisrael entered the Aretz, then Huchshur Kol Haratzis. Then the other Aratzis were Huchshur Kol Haratzis. They are kosher loy mashira. Meaning before they entered Eretz Yisrael, so then there wasn't yet that status of Eretz Yisrael. So you can, so if whatever miracle that happened anyway, you would say Shira. Once we came into Eretz Yisrael, so that became our land. So then Lo Yuchshu Kol Haratzos L'Mashira. Any miracle that happens in other lands is not kosher to say Shira, which means Yitzias Mitzrayim was before that Bichlal went to Eretz Yisrael, and therefore you would say Shira. But once they went to Eretz Yisrael, and then they went to Bavel and Shushan Abira, right? That was too late already. Because once you got to Eretz Yisrael, that becomes our land. From Nachman Omar, there's a different teretz as to why you don't say Halal on Purim. Nachman Omar, Kriyasa Zui Alila. The Kriya of the Megillah is like takes the place of Halal. Rava Omar, Rava says Bishlama Hasam Halalu Avdei Hashem. But the Gabi Mitzrayim, you could say Halal. Why? Because we could say Halalu Avdei Hashem, that we are servants of Hashem. Lei Avdei Parai, not slaves of Parai. Hacha. Halalu Avdei Hashem, Lei Avdei Achashverosh. You can't say Halalu Avdei Hashem and not Avdei Achashverosh because we're still in Golus. We're still not autonomous. Akati Avdei Achashverosh, and we're still in Golus. We're still slave to the contemporary Achashverosh, right? So it's not him. It's Trump. It's whatever. It's somebody else. We don't yet have our own. We don't rule ourselves, right? We're not just Avdei Hashem. We have to also succumb to Achashverosh, and therefore he says it's not Shach to Halal. Well, Rav Nachman asks more. Rav Nachman who says Kriyasa Zui Halila. He says the reason is because of the Kriyas Megillah is the Halal, right? So Hatanya, but otherwise Yutaka would say, right? And according to Rav Nachman, Yutaka are saying Halal, right? The Megillah is a type of Halal. The Brisa said we found the Brisa that says Hatanya Mishenichus Ularis Lo Yuchshu Kol Haratzos L'Mashira. Once they got to Eretz Yisrael, so then you can't say Halal for a Shira. For a nace that happened outside of Eretz Yisrael. So what does he do? He says, Kevin Shigolu, once they were Goyla, Chazru LeTeiron Harisha. Once they were Goyla, so backwards we lose the status of Eretz Yisrael. So now any nace, any place that happens, a nace happens, you could say Halal. Okay. Fine. Lo yoyamakim be'ovuv shal nechoishes. So asks the Gemara, Pasach b'cholel u'sayim be'ovuv. Why is it talking? Why it starts talking about chol and goes into aviv? What's going on? Really, it's the same instrument. Why is it called the Kolel? Because its sound is sweet. Kolel means sweet, so it's really the name is Avov, but we gave it other terminology also because it's very sweet sound. There was this flute that was in the mikdash. It was very smooth. Dakhaya was thin. Shalkanahaya was made out of reed. And it was around for the Mois Moshe. Tziva HaMelech, the king, it doesn't say which king, one of the kings commanded, and they coated it with gold. It did not sound so good. So they took off the covering, so it went back to sounding very good, like before they covered it in gold. Tziltzil is a symbol. Right? Symbols are the things that you clang together. So tzilzos hayu b'mikdash shel nechoshes haya. It was made out of copper. Vayukolei orev. It was a very sweet sound. V'nifgam, but then he got a pgima, right? Made a little chunk got missing. So v'sholchu chachamim v'yu umdin. Chachamim sent and brought experts, craftsmen, Alexander from Mitzrayim, v'tiknuhu, and they fixed it. V'loy hayakolei orev. It wasn't good. Not los tikunai. They took away, but then they took away the tikkun. They took away the patch, right? V'yakolei orev k'mashahaya, and the coil came back like it was before they patched it. I guess, right? You wouldn't go back to all the way. To the original sweet sound, but at least it went back to the way it was. Machtesh used to have a grinder, I guess, for the besamim, for the Torah, for the different things. It's also made out of copper. And it would add smell to the besamim because Rashi brings down what we say. We say that when the guy used to bang it, he used to say right? So that because the coil, so also the machteshes used to bang it, used to be good. The sound waves would be good for the besamim. Spagma, also what happened was that it got a hole, whatever, got a pgam. The machteshes got a pgam. Again, they brought craftsmen from Alexandria to fix it. It didn't do it as good. Not Louis Tikuna. They took away the patch. So it went back to the way it was. Okay, so Elu Shnei Kerem, these two Kerem, the Tziltzul, right, which was Nechoshes. Which two Kerem? Elu Shnei Kerem, Rashi says the Tziltzul and the Machteshes and the Nechoshes. They're both the symbols and the Machteshes. Made out of Nechoshes. Elu Shnei Kerem, Shtayru Mikdash Rishon. They were the Beis HaMikdash, the first Beis HaMikdash. When they had a pgam, there was no way to fix it. David, and on them, David say they really changed it to Amar Krov because this is a pasuk by Shlomo. Nechoshes memurat, nechoshes moruk. Memurat, Rashi says memurat means thin, and memurak means it's shining. Kolel means shining. Right? So he says that these two, they're referenced all the way back in the Beis HaMikdash Rishon. They're referenced by Shlomo HaMelech when they built the first Beis HaMikdash. Nechoshes memurat and nechoshes kolel. Which one was?
Maruk is shiny.
So that's the Machteshes. Machteshes was shiny, and the symbols were thin. Not sure. Okay, one of them. Either way, two types. You see a reference to two Kerem of Nechoshes in the first Beis HaMikdash. V'aleim u'omer klei Nechoshes mutzav shnaim chamudos.
It says the shiny was the symbols in the mortar.
Okay. V'aleim u'omer and the Bryce continues on them, on these instruments. The pasuk says klei Nechoshes mutzav shnaim chamudos. That you have like a yellow copper, the Kerem made out of copper that are yellowed, Shnaim Chamudas, two Chamudas Kazav. The end of the pasuk is Chamudas Kazav. It's Geshmak, whatever. It's Chamud. It's precious like Zahav, right? These copper was precious like Zahav. What does that mean? Rabbi Shmuel Chadamar Kol Echad V'Echad Shakol Kishnaim Shel Zahav. Each one was worth two. Was heavy like two of Zahav. Meaning, if it would have made of Zahav, I guess it would weigh a certain amount, right? And now, because the Nechoshes, it's double. I guess I don't know. The Nechoshes was
very high quality.
Okay, it doubles Zahav. But both together are like one of Zahav. Not that each one is like two. Together they're like one. Both of them, Shneim Shkulim Ke'echad Shel Zahav. Okay, Tanya Rabbi Eliyahu Shneim Shkulim Ke'echad Shel Zahav. Rabbi Eliyahu says the same thing. Both of them together are equal to one of Zahav. Tanya Rabbi Eliyahu Shniyim Hayu. Shneimar Shniyim. Al Dikri Shnayim El Shniyim. They were doubles. It means he says they were doubles. Each one had doubles. Okay, continue tomorrow.